Welcome to Two Trees Gaming. It's a 700-point battle report for the Middle-earth strategy battle game. It's Louis' army of Minas Tirith, led by Gandalf the White, versus my Blackgate Open's Legendary Legion. I'll be using the Blackgate Open's Legendary Legion. That means I'll be taking the Mordor Troll Chieftain as my leader, and he's going to get 3 Might, 2 Will, 2 Fate, and be Fearless because of the Legion's army bonus. I've got the Mouth of Sauron, who's good for a transfix or an instill fear on an objective, and he's also got the higher courage for the standfast. I'm hoping to keep him out of the combat and available for the late game. I've gone for 3 Mordor Orc captains instead of packing out my warbands. This is going to allow me more might on the field, which means I can heroic march and hopefully make the most of the other army bonus, which is the +1 to wound when I outnumber someone in combat. My whole strategy is built around enveloping the opponent and surrounding them. Louis gone for a Minas Tirith list led by Gandalf the White on Shadowfax. He's a huge point sink, but he's hoping that with his 12-inch movement and his spell casting he'll be able to dictate the play. He's accompanied by 12 warriors of Minas Tirith, including one with a banner. He's got Beregond on a horse, accompanied by 2 mounted Citadel Guard with longbows. He'll be hoping that they can grab objectives and still be involved in their game with their bows and their bodyguard rule. He's got Irillas to use as a roadblock, whose special rule allows him to shield and still strike an opponent. And he's got a Knight of the White Tower, which is kind of trademark Louis at this point. He's got an Avenger Bolt Thrower to support his backline. He's got 30 models total, 10 points of might. Let's find out what the scenario is. It's a 4x4 board and the scenario is Breakthrough. There's 4 objectives on the battlefield, 1 in your own deployment zone. If you control that at the end of the game, you'll get 1 victory point. If you take the objective on the opponent's side of the board, you'll get 2 victory points for contesting it and 4 victory points for holding it. If you take either of the central objectives, you'll get 2 victory points for holding them and 1 victory point for contesting them. You'll get a victory point if the enemy force is broken at the end of the game, and 2 or 1 victory points if you've killed or wounded the enemy leader. Each army deploys anywhere in their half of the board, with each warband within 6 inches of its army leader, and the game ends when one force has been reduced to 25% of its starting number. Louis started by deploying his bolt thrower on his board edge. I countered that by deploying an Orc captain opposite. The idea being I could use a heroic march to close the gap on it as quickly as possible and reduce the amount of shots it will fire. He then deployed Beregond on the opposite side of the board. I countered that by deploying my on-foot Orc captain and a warband of Orcs opposite him. With his next few drops, he deployed his entire army opposite that same warband away from his bolt thrower. I don't want to get shot in the back, but I also don't want to fight in a choke point, so I deployed the bulk of my army in the middle of the board where I'll be able to grab the objectives. He's done the maths on it and is hoping that he'll break me and I'll fail enough courage checks and he'll be able to use his cavalry to claim the objectives in the late game. Planned out different to what I thought it would.
Is it a massive hassle that we've decided to film from this angle and Louis deployed all of his army on the other side of the house?
So the plan here is get the Mouth of Sauron. There's nothing you can do about it now. Transfix one of those guys on the bolt thrower, and then my captain will be in charge and bolt throws out of the game. I can then set this back objective with my army. And then these guys can sweep around. He's hearing the whole thing, so it's probably.
I can think of one thing I could do about it. Bolt thrower.
We'll see how it pans out. So very interesting deployment from Louis and a very standard deployment from me, but I'm very interested to see how this goes. Let's crack on with turn 1. Sure of priority? 1. 5. Any heroics?
Jake has priority.
Don't do that. Any heroics for myself? No. Okay, I'm going to heroic march with my captain that looks like a moron orc. And I'm going to heroic march with my captain on the end here. So both my mounted captains heroic marching. Louis' strange deployment has thrown me off a little bit, but I've got a plan. I call a heroic march with both my mounted captains. My scout moves as close as it can towards Louis' Avenger Bolt Thrower. It means hopefully he won't have to take too many shots. My Mouth of Sauron then moves up to transfix one of the Bolt Thrower crew. If successful, my mounted captain might not have to take any shots at all. He'll remain on his wag and be able to re-enter the fray. Success. Now, if the captain can do what he needs to do, he'll be able to get back to the action as quick as possible and Louis' bolt thrower will be out the game. My other captain uses his march to help my army envelop Louis' army. I want to make the most of my +1 to wound bonuses, and ideally I want to put my army between him and the objectives. Louis moved as best he could to mop up the lone warband of orcs that approached him from the south, and with Gandalf he was deliberating between a channeled terrifying aurora and a sorcerer's blast. In the end, he went for the blast.
There, and sorcerer blast to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can see how many
That's
dice?
just one.
So 3-1, 4 plus needed. Cool. So then on this initial guy, strength 6, even 4s, 3s actually.
That's
He flung an orc into one of my orc captains who fell from his wag.
Fate. Five passed.
With the rest of his move, Louis plugged the gap between the two houses to hold off my main army, whilst Gandalf and the rest of his heroes moved to kill the small band of orcs in the south, and Beragond and his horse archers moved to provide some threat from the north. No shooting from the bolt thrower, but Louis got... What are you shooting at?
Barry's green dice. I'll just shoot swords up front.
Just thought it orcs, okay?
Yeah. 2 hits. 2 dead.
2 dead.
I nearly shot the troll chieftain.
Not ideal. I've already lost 3 orcs, a wag and a fate point, and now going into the combat phase my troll chief isn't in combat, and I've got Gandalf the White bearing down on a captain on foot. We'll start over here then, so we've got a 2 on 2.
6.
4.
5's dead.
3 more orc casualties follow for no reply before we get to Gandalf himself. And then Gandalf... 6.
2.
Too high for Gandalf?
Mana. 4.
I've got a 6, Gandalf's got a 4. What's your plan?
Let's take it.
You're going to take the hits.
Right.
Shadow effects is defense 5, 2 wounds, is that right?
He has no idea.
I'm going to go all on shadow effects, 3 dice, so it's 5s all around, captain's red. 2 wounds, and the captain can do another one if he passes his fate. Shadow effects gets a 3. So he's dead.
Shadowfax is
Shadow effects
blue.
gone. Have you painted an on-foot Gandalf?
Viewers, I'll go and get my on foot Gandalf.
Right, so Gandalf needs to take a throw ride attack. Go on then. 2. He's down. Have we got a prone marker?
Is he prone?
Oh no, sorry, he's just up. Sorry.
Good job, the voice of God's here to check the rules.
Irolas and the Knight of the White Tower then make a kill each. It's not going great for me, but I've killed Shadowfax and I've got Louis penned into a corner. I'm not sure if that's me falling into a trap or not. I guess we'll find out. Okay, priority? 5. Right. I'm going to have to call it. Okay, I'll call it with this captain first. Are you countering anybody?
No.
Okay, I'm going to call it with the captains on the floor as well, so that's his last point on mine already. Louis may have made a mistake here by not calling a heroic move with Irolas. Had he have called one, he would have been able to wheel his army round towards my back objective and get a spell off with Gandalf, potentially keeping the troll out of combat for another 2 turns. As it is, I was allowed to attack him on 2 fronts. I used the south side of my force to just pin as many warriors and Gandalf in place as possible, whilst the troll and the bulk of my army tried to burst through the gap between these 2 houses. Louis decided to keep Beragond and his horse archers where they were. They are a distraction for me and his archery seems to be going pretty well. His bolt thrower is now out the game and launches an attack on my captain in an attempt to just keep him there for another turn. And on my move, the rest of my army just scatters, tries to get as many objectives as possible. This is obviously a worry with my orcs being such low courage, but I'm hoping I won't break and it won't be an issue. Right, shooting, you on priority, what do you got?
2 Citadel Guard and Beragond into your 2 archers there. And then Beragond's green.
Another dead orc to Beragond shooting. I'm not going to call any heroics.
I'll call her strike with the Knight of the White Tower.
I'll call a heroic strike with the troll chief. Is that it?
Yep.
You get to pick the order of the combat first. Where are we going?
Let's do that.
Troll chief, early doors?
Yeah.
Oh god. It's my troll chieftain against Irolas, 4 Citadel Guard and the Knight of the White Tower. Both the Knight and the Troll have used heroic strike, but I need to be careful. Every wound that's inflicted by the Knight of the White Tower with his 200 sword actually inflicts 2 wounds instead. What's your fight
Knight striking up to A 9.
Oh god, so I need a 3 to get to 10. 3 by 10. 3 for the troll, and I have got a banner. It's a 3 high. And banner doesn't count. No, it's a 5. I'll take a 5. 3. That's a problem. That is a problem.
6.
I haven't got enough might to even get that to 6, so you've won that.
Irilast and the Citadel Guard need 6s and 6s by 4s respectively. They fail to cause any wounds. The Knight of the White Tower, however, only needs 5s. He scores 1 6 and 1 4, meaning he could use a point of might to potentially inflict another 2 wounds on the troll.
No.
Doubles after fate.
It doubles after fate. So if I pass these, pass 1 fate, I've cancelled 2 wounds. Is that definitely correct?
Yeah.
Okay. That's 4.
I use my might.
Okay, I'll use my last point of fate. 5. So I've lost both fate on my troll chief, but otherwise no damage done.
That was huge. I've managed to pass both my fate, avoiding giving Louis any victory points for now, and he's used all his might with his only hero that can heroic strike other than Gandalf. That's a lot of pressure on the White Wizard to perform now.
Yeah, Gandalf, here we go.
5.
4.
We'll do the captain first.
Yeah.
6.
2. How many have you got? What did you get?
1 6.
With 1 fate. Oh, I'm going to take the wound on him.
2 more orcs die with no reply before it's on to Louis' siege vet, who's charged one of my orc captains.
So you've charged my captain with no sword. 6. It is your vet or not?
Yeah.
It is the vet. There we go. Double 1.
Two Trees Gaming is here to provide quality content for the Middle-earth strategy battle game. If you like battle reports, tournament reviews and tactical analysis, or if you like things going wrong and sometimes going right, and 400 model battle reports, you're in the right place. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. At the end of turn 2, I'm winning 3-0, with my leader having narrowly avoided suffering 4 wounds. I've not quite made it to either home objective yet, and I'm hoping my score will increase next turn. Louis got a real fight on his hands, but he's obviously come with a plan.
Okay, priority. 6. Oh.
I'll do it with Gandalf then.
And then it's just I can't call it to try and stop the spell going off. Or do I use the will to resist? This captain's going to die, so I'm going to counter call with that captain on his last point of might. Roll off 5 minutes, so 1, 2, 3 to me. Me.
That was a huge roll off to win. It means that my troll can charge straight into Louis' heroes, and an orc can tie up Gandalf to stop him casting any magic this turn. With the rest of my move, I wheel half my orcs round to try and start the process of getting the +1 to wounds in combats. That's going to get me the kills, because so far I've got little to no kills. In the north, Baragon charges in on the orcs at the back of the Troll Chieftain, and I move to claim the objective on his side of the board. I've still forgotten to claim my own objective, but things would have to go badly wrong for me not to get that. And in the top corner, my scout captain has to charge back into the siege veteran. I can't afford to let him go back to the bolt thrower.
I've got shooting. I've got 2. I'm just going to go 2 into that since I've got in the end, and he's forced into his combat. 1 hit. Does he hit my own guy? He does. Does he kill my own guy? The spearman. Dead. Great.
Smooth.
That's the first model I've killed. My own guy.
We both declined to call any heroic actions, and combat started with my orc captain, who's charged Louis' bolt thrower crew.
5.
4.
I managed a 4 high to Louis' 5. I decided to spend the last point of might with that captain in an effort to protect his wag and get him back into the fray as soon as possible. Hopefully it'll mean 2 kills as well. The doubling attacks against the vet first, needing I'm strength 4, your defense 5?
Yeah.
5. 1 wound. You take fate or he's dead. Dead. And then the other guy, not dead yet. I haven't got any might, so let's try the other one. Dead. Okay, alright, so we'll work down this way then. I'm splitting that. So we've got an archer on the Citadel Guardian.
Double charge. 5.
3. You need 5s, what did you get? I'm dead.
And Baragon.
Yeah.
6.
4. 4's on the
Two
standard.
Dead.
And then he's knocked down. Oh, sorry. Dead.
And the last one. 6.
4. 3 times. Oh, needs 5. Needs 5.
Dead.
Oh. 2 Citadel Guard die to orcs whilst my on-foot captain proves to be a nuisance and shields his way to victory. Gandalf then wins a duel roll against a surrounded orc warrior with shield. Yeah. He's alive.
Dead.
Oh, Gandalf's got him on a 4 diamond ring. The Troll Chief faces off against Irolas, a Knight of the White Tower, and 4 Citadel Guard. But crucially, the Forces of Good don't have heroic strike, and so the Troll has the higher fight value. Right, okay, so we've got the Troll Chief. Let's see what we can get.
Knight of the White Tower black again.
There we go. You're -1 on black.
6.
So 3 again with a banner. 6. Oh no. Okay, Irolas is full might, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm gonna run Irolas anyway. Double 1. 1 wound on Irolas.
I'll just take it.
You're gonna take the wound on Irolas. Okay. I'm holding 3 of the objectives and contesting the other one, so it's good in that sense. I've only killed, how many have I killed?
4.
4 guys. He's killed 16 orcs. At the end of turn 3, I'm 7-0 up as I've managed to take the objective in his deployment zone. I've still forgotten to take the objective in my deployment zone, but so I'm expecting that to turn to an 8. But I am struggling for kills. If Louis breaks me and then scatters, he might actually be able to take the objectives here. So I need to be clever about my play and the placement of my heroes to make sure my army doesn't run if the time comes. So, our priority, are you calling anything?
I will write a move with Aenos.
Okay. I'm not going to counter that.
And a heroic channeling from Gandalf.
So now that's making me think. I could heroic move with my Mouth of Sauron and come out and transfix Gandalf before his heroic channeling goes off, throwing the roll off. Or even just immobilise Irolas. I'm going to let you do it and take the gamble. No. Yeah, I'm going to let you do it.
I'm going to use 2 dice to channel transfix.
Roll them. Okay.
Let's roll. On 5.
5.
I don't maybe 3 dice that.
Well, I've only got 2 well, and you can do it again to me next turn. I'm going to use just 1. 6. He's got the will back as well. Louis was obviously very unlucky there, although a channeled terrifying Aurora may have been the better option. And as if to confirm this, his Knight of the White Tower fails to charge the Troll Chief on the score of a double 1. Although having failed the channel transfix, I think he should maybe be bringing his army round to the objective on my side of the board to maximise victory points, but he's going for the breaking tactic and is sticking to plan A. I charge Beregond and a mounted Citadel Guard with 1 Orc Archer. I'm trying to encourage him to call heroic combat. I've scattered my troops in a way that means he's got a 2-turn roadblock there. If I can get him to spend his might points, I'll have the only resources left on the table, and it'll be very hard for him to win the game. Any heroic combats or anything like that for me? Not very good.
Okay, I'm not going to either. We'll start here. So we've got an archer and a spearman on a guy, and you've charged. I got 6. 5s. Not dead. Oh, I'm gonna be a +1 to wound. Dead. Bonus. Just a 1 on 2.
Yeah, Baragon's blue.
2.
5. Dead.
Take them off.
An orc and a citadel guard die before my orc captain shields again.
And then shielding here with this captain.
6.
6. I've won that. It's your fight for 3. Troll chief here. Here we go. It's 5. Banner. Oh, I might move my banner too far away. No, I don't think he is actually.
No.
He's not. I'll use a point of might on the troll chief. Puts me down to 1. I'm gonna Brandeo last. Okay, so needing 3s. Dead.
Iralas had 2 points of might, so that was a very bad turn for Louis. He has got more models near the hotly contested objective near the Troll Chief though, but I've also managed to claim my own home objective. Going into turn 5, the score's 7-1.
Right. Priority, let's go. It's 5.
Okay, I'll call heroic move with Gandalf.
Heroic move with Gandalf. Call a heroic move with the Mouth of Sauron. 1, 2, 3, it's me. Here we go. You. Gandalf goes first.
With 2.
Oh, he's not come off.
Gandalf failed to cast the Sorcerer's Blast. He was hoping to cause a cheeky wound on the Troll Chieftain. If he did, he'd have a victory point for that, he'd have a victory point for breaking me, and he'd get 4 if he took my home objective, and he'd be right in the game. As it is, the Sorcerer's Blast has failed, but he continues with his plan. He holds the gap between the houses with 2 Citadel Guard, and moves the rest of his army toward my home objective. I chose the combat with the Citadel Guard to the left of the Troll Chieftain first. I failed to kill him, and he backed away into the Troll Chief's path. I chose that one first though, so that I'd be able to barge in the combat that I'm currently in, and kill that Citadel Guard to create a way through for my army next turn.
Troll chief this. 4. 5. I'll barge. Full 3 inches back this. Right, troll chief again. Dead.
Half a dozen more combats pass without a kill for either side. This is ideal for me, as the Troll Chief's now broken through, and there will definitely be kills next turn. Even Gandalf failed to kill the orcs that he was fighting.
Back a bit. And then we'll do the Mouth of Sauron now. So you've charged me. Here we go. Come on. 3.
6.
Oh, I've got nothing I can do here. I can't even move out because he can't make way for him, so you got to just take the hits. I haven't got any might.
What defense is he?
Defense 6 with 2 fate. No, 1 fate.
1 fate, 2 wounds.
Yeah, so you need 6s all round. So 3 6s guaranteed dead. You got that. There we go.
None.
Oh, 2 1s and 2 2s. It's surrounded. Nothing. Oh my days. Oh, and then over there. Talk me through it.
I'll talk you through it. Baragon's dead.
Baragon first. I want to kill him.
Yeah.
He's got a mic.
The what?
Okay, just the captain. Gets a 2. The captain doubling it. That's 1 wound. Only 1 wound from the captain.
Sorry,
2
you
archers.
actually, sorry, you need to roll your, because Baragon's got a point of might. So the captain rolled a 2. Baragon can win that combat.
Okay, the 2 archers. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then I'm killing. Right, and then we've got. Oh, we've got 4 guys on. I've got 200 on the black dice. For that 6. No 5. Plus 2 to win on the black dice. It's 3s. Got it.
That was a truly terrible turn for Louis. He's lost his only might in the game now, so I'll be able to dictate the play, and my troll's broken through in the centre of the board. What's more is I've now got more troops near the hotly contested objective, so he's lost his only victory point in the game, and it's looking increasingly likely that he'll be the one to break instead of me.
Have you got a strategy for winning? I'll cut this massive ball down. Have you got a strategy for it?
How far off breaking?
You need to kill 27 to break me, and you've killed 19. Okay, well let's go priority and see how it goes. 5. What? That's not been useful for you every time.
I won priority again, and with Louis having no might on the board, it was just a case of tying up all of his models and making sure I had total board control where I needed it. I even moved some captains back to make sure their standfast would catch my guys if the worst happened. In the combat phase, the Mouth of Sauron cut down 2 warriors of Minas Tirith. Gandalf failed to make a kill, but 2 warriors next to him did kill 2 orcs. And then it was on to the Knight of the White Tower versus the Mordor Troll Chieftain. If the Knight could win the combat and score 2 5s to wound, the Troll Chief would be dead, and it would be Louis' only shot at victory. Knight of the White Tower on the Troll Chief. What you got?
4.
4. Troll Chief gets 6. I will rend him. 2 wounds. You got a fate and no might, is that right?
Yep.
Dead.
Oh dear.
Next turn saw me win priority yet again. I tried a transfix on Gandalf, he managed to resist it, but I was picking the combats everywhere. I managed to kill 3 good models for 1 orc in return, and Louis is now broken.
Are you broken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good 17 then.
I'm still 5 off broken, although the tally at the side of the screen might say slightly different. I think I'm 5 off broken. Okay, it's priority then, isn't it?
Yeah. 6.
6.
Oh.
You've got it.
Woo!
Any heroic, should we say?
Yeah. Sorry.
What a
Don't say poo poo face.
doo-doo face.
I'm going to call a heroic move with the Mouth of Sauron.
From here it was just a formality, but I did make a crucial mistake. I forgot that Louis had actually won priority and would be splitting the combats. So he's going to split the Mouth of Sauron into a separate combat from the Troll Chief and Gandalf. We actually have a 1 versus 1 with the leader of each army involved.
Six. Oh no. I shall rend 2 wounds, and I have got point right if you fail this somehow. You get to re-roll your failed one. So 2 fate off Gandalf. Priority 1 5. I'll call it the Troll Chief. That's my last point of might in the game.
The next turn saw me reduce Louis to lower than 25% and thus end the game. For the very final combat we've got the Mouth of Sauron and the Mordor Troll Chieftain versus Gandalf. There's still victory points on offer, let's see how it goes.
Okay, last combat of the game then, so Louis is already below 25%, so this is it. This is for victory points essentially. If he can win the Troll Chieftain or I can kill Gandalf, we're going to get some points. Okay, Troll Chief will set the in target. Oh. Gandalf! Let's
Oh.
roll a double 1. So the Troll Chief obviously lows 1 anyway, he gets 5, right?
You know, banner?
Oh no, I got a 5 with the Troll Chief. He's got a 2. Troll Chief to kill Gandalf. He gets 2 wounds and the mouth is knocked over because the mouth sounds charge. 3 wounds from the Troll Chief, and then the Mouth of Sauron gets to roll another 2 on top of this. 4 wounds, 5 wounds.
Gandalf's dead.
Is he dead? Is he actually dead? You can't even put past his 2.
You got
He used
1
2,
fate,
didn't he?
3
That's
wounds.
it. Done.
dead.
Happy days. Oh dear. So the score is it's 11-0.
So, any positives?
What was the thinking with the deploying over one side? What was your plan?
Did you see a very, very good player do it against you at the Throne of Skulls, and then it turns out you are not as good a player as that player?
I thought I would. I was never, because you've got so many bodies. I couldn't beat you in a straight fight, so I thought if I work my way across, get that side objective, split off with my mobility around one side, and then force my way back home, was the idea.
If you enjoyed that, please consider subscribing to the channel and help us on our quest to become the home of quality Middle-earth strategy battle game content on YouTube. And why not follow us on Instagram at 2trees Gaming, where you can find mini battle reports, miniature showcases, and sneak peeks at future videos. Thank you so much for watching. We hope we see you again soon.